Ever since I was a little girl, I always dreamed of becoming a doctor. I imagined myself helping people, making a difference in their lives. But I never knew how hard that journey would be. It wasn't just about studying hard. It was about facing challenges that I never expected. The first big challenge came when I entered medical school. I had always been a good student, but suddenly everything felt so much harder. The material was tough, and I felt like I was always studying, but it never felt enough. I remember spending nights awake, reading textbooks and trying to memorize every little detail. Sometimes I would cry because it felt like I was never going to be able to remember everything. The pressure to succeed was overwhelming, but the hardest part wasn't just the exams. It was the emotional toll. I saw so many of my classmates struggle too. Some of them would give up, while others seemed to have everything under control. I started to doubt myself. Am I really cut out for this? I would ask myself every night. There were times when I felt so alone, even though I was surrounded by people who were going through the same thing. But the thing that kept me going was thinking about the people I wanted to help in the future. I couldn't give up on them. Then came the practical training in the hospital. That was a whole new world. The first time I had to deal with a real patient, I froze. I was so nervous that my hands were shaking. I remember the patient asking me a simple question, and I couldn't answer right away. The nurse beside me had to step in and help. I felt so embarrassed. I knew I had studied the theory, but when it came to actually helping someone, I wasn't sure I was ready. There were moments when I thought about quitting, especially when my family started to worry about me. They didn't understand why I was so stressed and tired all the time. Sometimes they would say, "You don't have to do this. You can find something else to do." But deep down, I knew this was what I wanted. I couldn't imagine myself doing anything else. I just had to keep going. One day, I was working with a patient who had been in a car accident. The doctors were all busy, and I had to step in and help. It wasn't easy, but somehow I managed. It felt like everything I had learned until that moment came together. That small success was the boost I needed. Maybe, just maybe, I could do this after all. But even now, after all the studying, the sleepless nights, and the doubts, I'm not sure how the story will end. The road to becoming a doctor is still full of challenges, and sometimes it feels like there's no end in sight. But every time I face something difficult, I remind myself why I started. I want to make a difference, and no matter how many challenges come my way, I'm not ready to give up just yet. Each day feels like a small step, and I know it will take time. But I can already see the future, and it's worth every challenge, every struggle. I just have to keep going, one day at a time.